all aboard the struggle bus because, boys, that is where I was yesterday in this 125 race. What is up, everybody? It is Rodak with Rodak Survival, and as always, I had my Friday night 125 series, and I'm here to talk about both of the motos and go through them with you guys. Now, I am going to throw up the current point standings through this race. So this was after yesterday's race. I'm currently sitting third, holding on for my life with 229 points with MXer for life right behind me, and he is absolutely faster than me and will ultimately pass me before the end of the season, but we're going to hold on to it as best as we can. Now, the reason I will say that I was on the struggle bus is I had not played the game the entire week. I am still sick from my surgery. I don't know what's going on, but I've been running these fevers, and I went back to work this week, so every day when I would get home from work, I would literally just fall asleep. One day I even fell asleep in my work clothes and woke up at like 3 a.m. So I was like 5:30 p.m. to like 3 a.m. I just woke up in my work clothes still. But I've just been extremely exhausted, still healing like crazy, still have stitches, still trying to break this fever every once in a while that comes on. Just haven't been feeling great, so I haven't played the game all week. Now, I know I am not the fastest in the series, and I'm usually like 6th or 7th fastest in our warm-ups, but what brings me up to the front and what keeps me in the races and what keeps me getting those podiums is my consistency. I might run a little bit slower, but I will crash maybe once a race. That was not the case. I downloaded this track, I should say, about 20 minutes before the race, so that is on me, and I'm sorry, guys. I will make sure to do more preparing for next race because I don't ever want you guys to see bad races. But I downloaded the track maybe 20 minutes before the race, jumped on, did like 15 minutes of warm up, and I was crashing every single lap. I did like 13 laps, and I crashed on every single one of them except for one. So coming into this, I was really nervous. I felt underprepared. I didn't feel confident like I usually do, because usually I would jump on the track the night before and do like an hour of practicing, and then I would jump on around 6 o'clock after I got off work and do like an hour, eat dinner, then come back and do another 30 minutes before the race starts. But I jumped in this super unprepared. I couldn't find a setup, just jumped on a random bike, and that had worked for me in the past, and just tried to make something happen. So without further ado, here's Moto 1. Alrighty, guys, so here we are in Moto number 1, and there's 17 people in this race, so one of our biggest lobbies we've had in this series races, and you know the deal. I am not running good. I had already mentioned that in the intro, so we need to get a good start and just try to keep up with the front guys. Maybe we can learn some lines here and there. So we are going to get a great start as we came around the first corner in third, but we're actually going to get our first whole shot of the season, and I'm like, all right, maybe this won't be as bad as I thought. Then this guy kind of cuts into my line, kind of takes it over. I have to let off, which loses some of my drive, but I'm still in a good spot, so. Zeke's going to go by. We already know he's going to get by at some point in the race. Zeke's gonna go down. I run into his bike, but we're still in a solid position. Not too bad. And then here's where the first mistake happens. I go off track. I cut over, but I try to get all the way over to the right because I don't want to get into the racing line. Want to be respectful. And right here's where it all starts to go downhill. I get cross jumped and I go down. I'm gonna drop all the way to about 10th place. Me and Thief of Insulin right here. I'm trying to let him go. He hits that unfortunately, but nothing we can do there. I was trying to let him go because he's about to pass. He passed me, so I should just let him go, but he goes down, so we're in 9th place right now. I know all hope isn't lost. I see 3 or 4 guys right in front of me, and then we're going to clip this last whoop, and we're going to go over the bars. And I'm just kicking myself. I'm super mad. It's a super long crash. Wouldn't let me get up for a while, and back to 9th place again. But as you can see, I gained a position right there. I'm going to get back into 8th. And all is well still, because I have these 2 guys right in front of me. It's only the 2nd lap. I go for the jump, land on the back of this dude, and go down. So he went off the track, came back on, stayed in the racing line, unlike what I did to try to be respectful. He stayed in the racing line. I landed on him. Maybe I should have, I don't know, maybe I thought he was going to make the whole jump, but it really kind of all really goes downhill from this point because I just couldn't get in a flow. My suspension was so weird. Like, with the way they built the jumps and the braking bumps and everything in this track, I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna go into Indonesia there. Not fun, but like I said, with my setup, I didn't really put a lot of time into it. So with the braking bumps, the way everything was built on this course, I just kept making mistakes literally everywhere. My bike kept bouncing in weird ways. My setup was definitely not for this track. Each track I've tweaked my setup a little bit for that specific track. This one, it just was not doing me favors. So I was really trying to like fight the bike, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna get back into 8th there because that guy's gonna make a little mistake, and I'm like, all right, I'm only a little bit behind. I can still see the guys whenever we're in cross sections or anything like that. So as you can, I go down there again. Yeah, this is how this moto goes. It's just me going down. This is a lapper right here, so no need to worry about that losing a position. But yeah, I got to the point where I was in no man's land for a long time. That's why the race jumped so much in time, because I was just stuck in 8th and I couldn't catch 7th, and 9th was really far behind me. So I just kept making mistakes here and there, and I don't know, like I said, the suspension was just not working. Like you see me go into that rut, and on any other track it seems like I would have hooked into that rut. There I just kept bouncing out of stuff everywhere, and it was just not going my way. Look, I'm just jumping off the track. At this point I'm like so frustrated at the end of the race that this is one of those motos where it's like it can't end fast enough. See, like even right there, just catching a weird bounce and going over the rut. It just happened to me so much, and it would result in crashes and stuff. But ultimately, we're coming away in 8th in our first moto. Probably my worst moto of the season so far. So here you guys, showing you guys my laps: 206, 208, 209, stuff around there. But nothing really to talk about because we obviously performed terribly in that first moto. So I want some redemption in this second moto. Let's see what we can do. With another decent start. Somehow we didn't go down right there. MXer for life. I don't know how we didn't take each other out, but we didn't. So mid-pack start, and yeah, just try to hook with these, stay with these guys. That's all I wanted to do, is just stay with these guys. Almost go down right there by hitting that barrier, that SpongeBob. Now we're gonna get gifted right here. I go to the outside because I know there's gonna be carnage inside. There's carnage everywhere. I'm just hoping that I don't get hit by anybody, and it takes like 5 guys out. And I'm like, I have to take advantage of this opportunity because yeah, like that was extremely lucky. That was some luck going my way. I need to try to stick with these guys. Now we have worked our way up into 6th, and I'm like, all right, I know I might not be able to get into that top 5, but at least stay here and try to salvage as many points as I can. On the struggle bus in these whoops like all day. Now I thought I should have moved into 5th right there, but for some reason the timing and scoring never updates me into 5th, so I'm still in 6th somehow. I'm not too sure how that happened, but yeah, I'm still in 6th. noticed this guy start to catch me, and I'm like, who the heck is this? Because I assumed that Zeke was already up there, up at the front, and I am just like fighting for this position, and I'm like, man, this person is just catching me like I am standing still. I have no idea it's Zeke still at this point because I'm not looking at timing and scoring or anything like that, but I'll find out very quickly that it is Zeke because he just passes me like I'm standing still. So there goes Zeke right there, and I'm like, oh, it's Zeke. No wonder that person just caught me as if it was nothing. So obviously that's going to push me back to 7th. You can just see I'm making mistakes all over the track. It's just the suspension was not working for me on this race. And then I found this little jump line, and I was trying to stick with that. And yeah, so trying to do what we can, trying to salvage what we can. But at this point, I do go into 6th, and I don't realize that the person in front of me actually had cuts, and I actually thought I had cuts and I had somebody right behind me, but turns out he had cuts, and that's what put me into 6th right there. So I'm still in 6th, and then I'm gonna go over the bars and the whoops. Those whoops were just, like I said, struggle bus all freaking day, I swear to God. So I jumped forward, and we're coming over the finish line, and this is going to be the last 3 laps of the race. And my whole point, like 10 minutes have gone by in this race already, and I've kind of jumped to this point because I was in no man's land again. Wasn't able to catch anybody ahead of me, and 7th place was pretty far behind me. And I don't know if I got lackadaisical or what, but I started looking over at timing and scoring. I'm like, oh wait, there's somebody like 5 seconds behind me. I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I don't believe I've seen him in here before. And I'm like, all right. So then I try to pick it up, and I guess it's just like real life. When you're running like a consistent pace and then someone catches you and you have to try to pick it up again, it just does not work out because you guys are gonna see I start making mistakes everywhere. But in my head, I am like, I don't care what I have to do. I am not giving up this 6th place finish. Now that 2-lap board is going to come out, and like I said, my whole goal is to get that 6. I do not want to give up this position, but he is still just gaining on me. You saw him right there in the whoop section. Then when we go on this switchback, I don't see him over there on the left side, and I'm like, oh, he is catching me at a rapid pace. Keep it together. We do not want to lose this position and lose these points. I'm just making dumb moves, and I'm sweating. I'm sweating right now. So here we are coming up to the final lap, and I make this mistake right here. My bike is just flying all over the place. I have to take this outside line, and he's right there in front of me, so I let him go so I could take this outside line. Anything else is just super slow. I'm gonna get a crazy run through these whoops. I'm gonna get back by him, and here we are on the final lap. Like I said, let's not give away that position. He has the line right here. I gotta let up, and I'm like, I make a mistake, and he's gonna pull away a little bit, but I'm like, we're not giving up. We made it all this way. It's been a struggle of a race. We're not giving up now. Coming down this hill, and I see him on that inside rut, and he just goes flying off the track, and that is going to give us a really lucky break right there, because I honestly did not deserve to get 6th place in this race. And yeah, that was a lucky gift right there. But then I'm gonna go and do this, and I'm gonna get this weird Poboso physics, and I look back and he's right on me again. Like when I'm gifted something, I instantly mess it up like 10 seconds later, and the race is on to the finish at this point. I'm looking back, he's still there. We just gotta make it to this corner and then not hit the SpongeBob that has weird collisions and physics, because the hitbox was way outside what the actual SpongeBob was, so I made sure not to hit it. Here we are coming up to the final lap. I need a good run through these whoops because anything can happen. I also don't know if he's gonna take the inside on me, but I think he ends up going down going into this last corner. And yeah, here we go. I just decided to take the safe jump line through there, and we are coming through the finish in 6th place. Again, I'm gonna show you guys my results: 208, 208, 211, 207. So I actually ran slower on average that race, but I just kept it a little bit more consistent. But like I said, guys, I'm sorry about the video. I'm sorry if you guys don't want to watch me get washed like that and you don't want to see me ride that bad. I promise that I will put more preparation into the final few races of the season. I don't ever want to put out a bad video for you guys, and I don't ever want to play really bad for you guys. But like I said, we are here to show the good, the bad, and the ugly, and this is just one of those races that was the ugly, unfortunately. But we are going to come out 7th overall. Like I said, we're still maintaining that podium spot, 3rd place in the series points. So we had that to look forward to. I'm definitely going to put in some work to try to do as best as I can in the last 3 or 4 rounds that we have. And yeah, guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Everything helps. Leave some comments. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.